Watcher, and welcome back to New Players, New Sprites, where I'm playing EA Relay. Turn 19. We got a dwarven hammer from Yay, that's the one that we traded for. It's a bit late, I don't care. We cast Dark Knowledge and got nothing. There was a battle in Antedeluvia where I'm moving to put a fort under siege. We can see how that went because we started to destroy the gate. We win the battle, but we'll look at it in detail in a minute. I have a couple of unexpected events. One gives me air gems, the other one gives me nature gems, and we killed some brigands. So let's have a look at this battle. I sent in 10 Sacred Mind Blasters, 4 Abadies and Aboleths, some Slave Mages, and a load of low wage. I did not want to mess around, because I thought it highly likely, since they'd gone AI, for there to be a lot of BD, and there's quite a lot of BD, and they're all irritating ghosties. Reminder, they're all ethereal. My Lobos do not have magic weapons, so they will have a hard time hitting them, and they're spirits, so they can shoot arrows underwater, which my Lobos hate. The matchup is terrible, but the Lobos are there to hold as much of a line as possible, while our Slave Mages get some water elementals out, and we Mind Blast the ghosts. That's the idea. And it basically works, more or less. The Lobos are as rubbish as you'd expect, although they're quite good at wailing on things that have been paralysed by the Mind Blasters. And the water elementals make short work of the ghosties. Most of my chaff, however, died. This is slightly problematic because I wanted that chaff to break down the damn wall. Fortunately, this is a fort that Therados built, so it's only got 100 siege strength. I'm going to be able to crack this one faster than I'm going to be able to crack the other one, which has a siege strength of 500, which is going to be a huge pain in the nuts. In Therados, I'm getting a Slave Mage because they're cheap researchers, and I'm getting as many Lobos as I can get. Run out of recruitment points, I can't get any more. In Relay, I'm not recruiting Lobos because I want to save money, and I'm getting a cheap Slave Mage because my research is so poor. I've also decided to take on the Kulullulllulllluus with what I have. 100 Lobos and half a dozen Mind Blasters. I think that should be enough. I'm moving some troops to patrol down some unrest because I don't have Dominion to reduce it for me. It's in turmoil as part of Therados' horrible Dominion. Otherwise, I'm really trying to deal with Therados as fast as possible, but it is not going quickly. It's turn 19, and there's quite a lot of provinces with grey flags. None of the thrones have been claimed. There are 7 underwater provinces with grey flags that will be mine. And I can see 2 land provinces with grey flags, apart from the thrones. The one in the north is actually an undead mountain province with such low income it's not worth the expense of taking it. I've also agreed not to take it as part of my nap with Yomi, and then there's the Hobo province that I would like to get, but that's it for turn 19. Let's have a look at turn 20. We have a message from Alm that is asking how I'm doing, and I'm going to say fine. We have a couple of fights, one against the Kulullulllulllluus, and one where the ghosties have broken out of their fort. Since both forts are under siege, I do win that battle, but we'll look at it in detail in a second. Then I have 3 luck events. One of them gives me money, gems, and a bag of wine, which is awesome. Another one gives me more money, more gems, and a rat tail, which is also awesome, although the rat tail is basically useless, I think. I don't know. I don't think I ever find a use for it. And then the third one, I lose some Dominion. It's bad, but you've got to take the rough with the smooth. Let's have a look at the Kulullulllullluu battle. I have a lot of Lobos. There's about 20 Kulullulllulluus. And it looks like a textbook example of a Mind Blaster indie battle. But there's a couple of things I've scripted poorly here. The first is, I have all my Lobos and aligned on attack rear. If they were on attack closest, they have a much better chance of encapsulating the Kulullulllulus and murdering them by surrounding them. Surrounding things reduces their defense because they're harassed, and is generally a good idea. The second mistake I made is that my aboleth is casting Mind Burn 5 times and then fire. I think it might have been better if he was scripted to only do fire rear, because then he'd be using all his mind blasting ammunition on the Kulullulllullluu commanders, and maybe saving me some Lobos. But they're only Lobos, and I only lose 3 of them, which is absolutely acceptable for me. The ghosties break out of their fort, and they seem to have recruited a load of Ictiids, which is interesting. I have a load of Mind Blasters and Lobos. My slave mages are scripted to summon a load of water elementals, and they're kind of useless. The mistake I make here, although I win this battle, so I survived this mistake, is that I had moved a load of Lobos in, but hadn't actually bothered to script them. I hadn't set them up to be in a line. Basically just a huge blob of Lobos. If I had scripted them, I suspect they might have lived longer, or the elementals might have done something useful, but I didn't. Oh well. I did lose half of my Lobos, which means again I have not cracked the fort. I have, however, damaged the walls severely. And because it's AI, it's highly likely there's nothing left in that fort. So with luck, I'll crack it next turn. I'm moving some more Lobos in from Therados, and I'm recruiting yet more Lobos. I'm using aboleths and abadais to shuttle them backwards and forwards, because they can command a lot more magic beings than a slave mage can. I'm recruiting slave mages in the 2 forts that I own, and trying to get my research up at the same time as calling my god back. None of the other players knows that my god is dead, and my research is absolutely crippled because of it, and I want to keep it that way. I'm doing a little site searching, but I'm not doing nearly enough, consciously, because I'm calling my god back, 1, and 2, Conjuration 5 gives me Voice of Tiamat, which is a great underwater site searching spell. I'm doing remarkably little else this turn, so let's see what the next one brings. Turn 21, and my single site search paid off. I got Shimmering Conchs, which is 1 Astral Pearl. The luck events, I got 2 Earth Gems, and an Ictiid Lord and his mercenaries have come to join me. The entrance to the fortification in Antedeluvia has been breached. I did actually crack Therados' easy fort, so that's good. I'm going to storm it this turn. The other fort is still under siege, also good. I don't think there's a lot in there, because otherwise the AI would have broken out. And I did some patrolling. The dude I got is this guy, and he comes with a load of troops, including these Ikitor warriors that are big, amphibious berserkers, and I like them quite a lot. They're going to be really good on land, I think. In the southeast, I am finally moving staff to take some of the indie provinces that I've got. In Therados and Relay, I have stopped recruiting slave mages and siege chaff, which may be a mistake, but instead I'm recruiting polypal grandmothers. These are S1 H3s with 104 hit points, so they're fantastic communion slaves. They're also going to be generating polypal spawns every turn and gradually building up a chaff wall for me. And they're H3s, so they'll be able to preach up to 7 candles, which is fantastic and exactly what I need to call my god back, because they'll count for 3 points of calling back a turn, and then to get rid of Therados' skanky Death Dominion. I'm storming his castle. The fort will be defended by spectral archers. As I mentioned before, my Lobos do not like archers, and these bastards fire arrows underwater because they're ghosts. So, I'm having my Mind Blasters concentrate on the archers. I'm hoping that 10 of them will be enough. We'll see. Apart from that, I don't really know what's going on above water, and I don't really care. Amazingly, the Hoboken province hasn't been taken, which is kind of awesome. I'm moving my brand new Ictiid Lord to help take that province. That's it for this turn. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.